Okay, so this is actually pretty crazy. So take a look at so this is my computer, and I was struggling a little bit. I wanted to play some games, and it got a little bit hot on my CPU. So here, this is my CPU. Right now, I don't really have anything going except for these programs, and this is my other desktop. It's clean. So check it out. We're here at 30 degrees Celsius, sometimes a little bit under. We don't have any tasks running up in the corner there. And that's fine, no big deal. And this is my overclock setup. It's nothing special. I have an 8 GB 1070 Armor TI GTX. So it's pretty alright. But what I want to show you is my new setup. So just a second. Okay, so before we do it, look at these temperatures here. These are temperatures after I think 4 or 5 benchmarks on Hitman 2, which is that's pretty good, And yeah, let's see what happened. So I used to reach temperatures around like 100 degrees, at least 86 to 90 without streaming on Hitman 2. So it's about 25 degrees Celsius, which is a huge deal for your tower or whatever you have. So let's take a look at what I did. Okay, so this is my setup here. There's not really anything too special about it, right? When you just look at it here, it's just this is my 1070 Armor TI MSI armored, and yeah, that's my cooler. And as you can see, it's only a one fan cooler, so it isn't actually a double cooler setup, where you could have water cooling on 1, 2, or 3 fans. So you could have this whole section here, you could have a water cooler on that for your CPU. But my setup actually works better than if I were to go out and buy a brand new Kraken or a Rock Strix dual liquid cooler or water cooler or whatever. According to the temperatures, I'm around maybe 15 to 20 degrees lower than some of the benchmarks I've just watched on the Kraken, for example. So what did I do? This fan right here is actually a very, very old fan. And as you can see here, I had to do a little bit of rewiring here. So this thing belongs, you can plug that on like this, and then you can plug it on that one, and then you can control kind of what mode it's in. So this fan right here is from my old, what do you call that? That's like a non-liquid cooled CPU cooler. So that would be like a standard, but still a huge CPU cooler, which is not water cooled. So I don't really know the right definition for that. Kind of like a radiator, or the opposite of a radiator, I guess. But it has those things, it kind of yeah, it's just a normal cooler. So I took this fan off my old AC cooler, and then I messed a little bit with the setup, and then I plugged it into my chest. What is that? My case fan controller up here, because my CPU controller is dedicated to this water cooler unit right there, and this right here, just behind this fan, this is the actual container, a liquid container. And then again behind this one, so this one is like, this is the first fan, and this is the water cooler. And then again behind the water cooler here, Behind there, yeah, I have another fan, also from an old computer. So these two fans are not actual. I mean, this one is pretty beast, but the other one behind, that's nothing special about that. So that's the only thing I did. I put a cooler in front, a big one, blowing this way, and then I put a fan in front blowing this way, left. Then we have the liquid cooler element right here, unit, and then I have a standard fan behind it as well. You just kind of remove and I guess suck out some of the flutter or whatever, so you keep the airflow clean behind the unit. Yeah, so why is this so amazing and crazy to think about? Well, let's take a look at why, and I'll be right back. Okay, so why is it that it is so amazing? And it makes a little bit more noise. Not right now. I think this is pretty standard noise. It probably sounds a little or much worse because my microphone tends to catch a lot of noise on that part. So it doesn't really make a lot of noise right now, at least. So let's try and we can run this. Oh no, this one comes up over here. Let's make it big. So now you can hear my fans are going a little bit crazy. And this is kind of a benchmark, the same thing, but this is for my GPU. So let's just take a look at this. So my GPU temp, that should go up to maybe 75 or even 78 degrees Celsius. I mean, that's not too bad, you know. For my graphics card, it can easily take that, no problem. The load here is 83, 84, something around there. And not really too many frames. And here we have the other setup. So you have GTX 1070 Ti armored. And I'm running right now on 72 degrees on the CPU, according to this one. But according to this one, we only have, I mean, a little bit below, around 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. So that is again pretty crazy. And you might think, oh, this benchmark is nothing, but that's wrong. I mean, this one is, it does the job. So as you can see here, my setup is at 3.6 gigahertz, but it's clocked to 5 gigahertz. So we actually, now you can see the multiplier here, 46, you go up to 50. So that's 5 gigahertz. And we're still running here below 50 degrees, as you can see, no problem. And I didn't buy anything new. I just ripped my old tower. And I'm not a computer engineer or anything, but I got this to work pretty well. So yeah, those temperatures, if you can keep that on one liquid cooler unit, I'm pretty surprised. But anyways, let's close this one. What is the load now? Okay, so yeah, 70, 74, 75. That's no problem. That's no problem for my GPU anyway. And what is my CPU? It's still very nice. So let's close this one and I will be right back. Enjoy this photo that I took. This is not an altered photo. This really happened. So think about that while I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to, this is Hitman 2, the launcher. So now we're going to, okay, you can just take a look at my setup here. So I'm not pushing it to the max limit or anything. I like to play like this. Maybe a little bit lower sometimes, but not anymore. And yeah, I like to play like this. I don't like any real big effects or anything. So let's see. It's pretty high still, you know. You have high. You could go ultra, but whatever. And I have this on moderate, and yeah, that's not really the point. My graphics. I mean, I'm an FPS player. So check it out. We're going to do a benchmark. Okay, so that should start. But it doesn't. Oh, I know why. It's because I installed this on my external. Okay, so here we are. This one is starting up right now. We don't actually have to look at that. What we want to be looking at is this. So my CPU is going up a little bit in use, 25%. My RAM is going up. As you can see right now, I only have 16 gigabytes of RAM. I just ordered 64, which is also why I did this little fix. So now you can see my CPU load is up to 60%. We're at 4.5 gigahertz. So it's not too bad. It's loading up. And the temperatures here, we are at 50 degrees Celsius. And we're running a benchmark right now. Not the most impressive numbers. Oh, look at that. Not the most impressive numbers or anything. But this is how I would like my game to look when I actually play. So it's not about my graphics card, this one. So it's not about the performance of it. The thing this video is about is this. So if you can do this on your setup, on one liquid cooler unit, and you're running a 5 gigahertz. Obviously I'm not running at 5 gigahertz all the time. For some reason right now it's only at 47, the multiplier, which is kind of weird. Usually it just goes to 49. I'm not really mad about that. I never really have any problems. So now it's 46. Anyways, I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to show you that it's absolutely crazy, and you don't need to go out and buy crazy setups for water cooling systems. You actually just need to put fans on both sides of your liquid unit, and preferably if you put a big fan on the one side blowing that way, and then you have your liquid cooler unit, and then you have another fan on the back side sucking and pushing the warm air, then you are going to be enjoying something like this. And I think if I put my stream on right now, it will probably go to, on the CPU, it will probably go to maybe 75, 80 degrees, which would be like 25 degrees below, 20 to 30 degrees Celsius below what I had before, just running the liquid cooler unit. That's such a bad name, but I was just running it on one of my case fans. So just a second. So this is the fan that used to run, the only fan that used to sit in front of my cooler, which is there, was this one. And this is just a standard case fan, like these ones. They come with the case, so they're not, they're silent, so they run at a low RPM compared to this guy right here, which is designed for CPU cooling. So this one has a better fan and it runs at a higher temperature, and I also think it's just more overpowered. So yeah, that's what I did, but I bet you could probably do it. You just put a fan behind, even if you don't have like something overpowered as this one, which I pulled out from my old rig. You could just use this one, the one you already have, and if you have like an old fan that doesn't make too much noise, you could just kind of pop it out, the liquid unit right here, and then behind that one you're going to put your old fan. And just make sure, I don't know if you can see up here, I only barely made it with the space available because my liquid unit, which is the one that goes above, you can see my fan, and my liquid unit actually goes on top, or it's larger. So if it had been like half a centimeter, if my old fan, which is behind my unit, my liquid unit, had been like a half a centimeter more deep or thick, then this wouldn't be possible. So, and you don't actually need this fan too much, and you could also, I don't know, you don't actually need it too much, but maybe you do, I don't know. But luckily for me, everything fits. And yeah, I guess this is kind of like a new setup. So as you can see right now, I only have 2 RAM blocks, and tomorrow, or like very very soon, I will get 4, so I have 64 gigs. And now I probably could also upgrade my graphics card, because this upgrade, which was free to me, is insane. I mean, it's probably the best cooling system that I can think of in the world, unless you have something like pro setups, which is like maybe, what is that? You know, that's crazy expensive. That's like for pro gamers, having kind of like a refrigerator computer or something like that. So this you could do yourself, and you're probably going to get better temperatures than most pro gamers by doing this. So I would say this is actually the best water-cooled setup in the world, and I wouldn't actually recommend doing this with a larger. I mean, you could easily do it, no problem, and it's not a problem. But you know, you could have like a larger unit right here. So if you had a liquid unit which was bigger, so it's not just one unit here, it's 2, and then you could have 2 in front and 2 on the back. Obviously that would be considerably better than my little setup here. But this setup here is actually, I think, proven like 20 to 25 degrees Celsius better than a Kraken or a Rockstrix double standard liquid cooler beast. So this is much better. You just buy one unit, you can put it all the way to the back, get a lot of cool air into your system, and then you double cool it. So yeah, so this is my advice for anyone running the i9 9900K or KF or anything around 5 gigahertz or above. I think it's going to be interesting for looking into the future. I'm pretty sure. I mean, unless my video goes viral, this is going to be the future, guys, and it already is. So you're welcome, and thanks for watching.